What if one of America's most beloved comfort foods has been misunderstood for decades? What if the food many people automatically label alayhi salam, a cheat meal, actually contains nutrients your body desperately needs? And what if hidden beneath that crispy skin and bold flavor is a surprising story about protein, healthy fats, essential minerals, and even healthy aging? Most people see buffalo wings and think, indulgence, game day, fast food, a guilty pleasure. But very few stop to ask a much more interesting question. What is actually happening inside your body when you eat chicken wings? Because the answer may surprise you.
You see, some of the world's healthiest traditional diets have something in common. They don't waste the most nutrient-dense parts of an animal. The skin, the connective tissue, the collagen-rich portions. The very parts modern eaters often ignore. And buffalo wings happen to contain many of those nutrients. Now, this doesn't mean buffalo wings are a magical superfood, and it certainly doesn't mean every basket of wings is automatically healthy. But by the end of this video, you'll discover why nutrition experts have started paying closer attention to parts of the chicken that were once overlooked. You'll learn what buffalo wings really contain,
how they may support muscle health, why collagen matters more than most people realize, and the surprising mistakes millions of Americans make when eating them. Stay with us, because the most fascinating fact about buffalo wings comes near the end, and it could completely change the way you look at this iconic American food. Few foods are as deeply woven into American culture as buffalo wings. Whether it's football season, a family gathering, a casual Friday night, or a celebration with friends, buffalo wings have become a symbol of comfort, connection, and enjoyment. But food is never just food. Every bite carries a story, a history,
a nutritional profile, and a relationship with our health. For years, nutrition conversations focused almost entirely on calories. Calories in, calories out. But modern research is teaching us something important. The quality of those calories matter. The nutrients matter. The protein matters. The minerals matter. The overall dietary pattern matters. And when we examine buffalo wings through that lens, a much more interesting picture begins to emerge. Today, we're going beyond the myths, beyond the headlines, beyond the assumptions. We're exploring what buffalo wings really offer, and how they fit into a balanced lifestyle focused on strength, vitality, and longevity. To understand buffalo wings, we need to travel back to Buffalo, New York. The year was 1964. Few people could have imagined that a simple restaurant experiment would become one of America's most famous foods. According to the popular story, chicken wings were once considered one of the least desirable parts of the bird. Many people preferred breast meat, others preferred thighs. Wings often received little attention. Then came a simple idea. Fry them. Coat them in a spicy, buttery sauce. Serve them with celery and blue cheese dressing. The result? A cultural phenomenon. But here's the fascinating part. Long before buffalo wings became famous, traditional cultures around the world were already valuing parts of animals rich in connective tissue. Why? Because these parts naturally contain collagen, gelatin, amino acids, minerals, and nutrients that support the body's structure.
Modern diets often prioritize lean muscle meat while discarding nutrient-rich components. Yet many traditional cuisines did exactly the opposite. They embraced nose-to-tail eating, using more parts of the animal, reducing waste, increasing nutrient diversity. In many ways, buffalo wings accidentally preserved part of that tradition. And that's where the health conversation becomes truly interesting. Because wings are not simply protein. They're a unique combination of muscle tissue, skin, connective tissue, and fats. A nutritional package very different from a plain chicken breast. And that difference may explain some of their surprising benefits. But before we explore those benefits, let's answer a question most people never ask. What nutrients are actually inside a buffalo wing? The answer may be far more impressive than you expect. Let's start with one of the most important nutrients in buffalo wings, protein. As we age, maintaining muscle becomes increasingly difficult. After the age of 30, adults naturally begin losing muscle mass. The process is gradual, but over time it can affect strength, balance, mobility, and overall quality of life. This is why health experts emphasize adequate protein intake throughout adulthood. Buffalo wings provide complete protein. That means they contain all essential amino acids the body requires. These amino acids serve as building blocks for muscle tissue. But muscle isn't only about appearance. It's about independence, energy, metabolism, and healthy aging. In fact, many longevity researchers now recognize muscle mass as one of the strongest predictors of healthy aging. Think about that for a moment. The ability to remain active at 70, 80, or even 90 years old
often depends heavily on preserving muscle, and protein plays a central role in that process. Now here's where things get interesting. Many people assume only protein shakes and fitness supplements support muscle health, but whole food protein sources can be equally important, especially when they're part of a balanced lifestyle. Buffalo wings provide satisfying protein that can help support fullness, reduce excessive snacking, and contribute to daily protein goals. And that's just the beginning, because the next benefit involves a nutrient many Americans have never even heard about. Yet it may play a crucial role in healthy skin, joints, and aging. Stay with us.
The story gets even more surprising. When most people think about aging, they think about wrinkles, gray hair, or slowing down physically. But aging actually begins much deeper inside the body. Every day, your body repairs tissues, rebuilds cells, and maintains the structures that keep you moving comfortably. One of the most important components involved in this process is collagen. Collagen is often described as the body's scaffolding. It's found in skin, joints, tendons, ligaments, and connective tissue throughout the body. The challenge? Natural collagen production gradually declines with age. That's why many people begin noticing changes in their skin and mobility as the years pass. Now here's something most people don't realize. Chicken wings naturally contain connective tissue and skin that provide collagen-related proteins. These proteins supply amino acids that the body can use as building blocks for its own structures. Again, buffalo wings are not a miracle anti-aging treatment, but they do contain nutrients often missing from highly processed modern diets. In traditional cultures around the world, collagen-rich foods were consumed regularly. Bone broths, slow-cooked meats, skin-on poultry, and other connective tissue-rich foods. Many of those traditions existed long before collagen supplements became popular. Could part of the answer to healthy aging be hiding in foods our grandparents regularly enjoyed? It's a fascinating question, and one that continues attracting attention among nutrition experts. But collagen isn't the only hidden nutrient story inside a chicken wing. The next benefit may be even more important for daily comfort and mobility, especially if you're over 40. Imagine waking up every morning feeling free to move, to walk, to travel, to enjoy life without constantly thinking about your joints. For millions of Americans, joint comfort becomes increasingly important with age. And while no single food can guarantee healthy joints, nutrition absolutely plays a role. Chicken wings contain connective tissue compounds that have attracted scientific interest for their relationship with joint structures. These include amino acids such as glycine and proline. While the body can produce some of these compounds naturally, dietary sources may contribute to overall intake. Think of your joints like a well-maintained machine. Every component works together. Movement, hydration, exercise, sleep, and nutrition. The healthiest outcomes rarely come from one single factor. Instead, they come from consistent habits that support the body over time.
And that's why whole foods often matter more than people realize. Not because they're magical, but because they provide complex nutrient combinations that work together. Now let's move from mobility to the organ that controls every thought, memory, and decision you make, your brain. Because one surprising nutrient found in chicken may play a bigger role than most people realize.
What if maintaining a sharp mind isn't just about puzzles and memory games? What if nutrition plays a larger role than most of us think? The human brain consumes enormous amounts of energy, even though it represents only a small percentage of body weight. It requires a continuous supply of nutrients to function efficiently. Protein-rich foods provide amino acids that help support important biological processes throughout the body. Some amino acids are involved in producing compounds related to mood, focus, and communication between nerve cells. When people think about brain health, they often focus exclusively on supplements. Yet nutrition experts consistently emphasize the importance of whole food dietary patterns. A balanced diet rich in quality proteins, vegetables, fruits, healthy fats, and nutrient-dense foods creates a stronger foundation for long-term wellness. Buffalo wings can contribute protein and nutrients as part of that larger picture. And when paired with healthier side dishes, they can fit surprisingly well into a balanced lifestyle. But there's another reason protein-rich meals are so valuable. One that affects your energy levels throughout the day, and it has nothing to do with caffeine. Have you ever noticed how some meals leave you energized,
while others leave you sleepy an hour later? The difference often comes down to how a meal affects blood sugar, satiety, and overall nutrient balance. Highly processed foods loaded with refined carbohydrates can sometimes create rapid spikes and crashes. Protein-rich foods tend to digest differently. They often help people feel fuller for longer periods. This can support more stable eating patterns throughout the day. Buffalo wings, particularly when grilled or baked and paired with vegetables, can provide satisfying protein that helps curb excessive snacking. That feeling of satisfaction matters more than many people realize. Because long-term health isn't built on perfection.
It's built on sustainability. The best eating pattern is often the one you can maintain consistently. And foods that leave you feeling satisfied may help support that consistency. But we're only scratching the surface. Because coming up next, we'll explore how buffalo wings may support immune function, why some people accidentally cancel out many of the potential benefits, and the surprising mistake that turns a relatively balanced meal into a nutritional disaster. Don't miss the next section. The most practical lessons are still ahead.
Every day, your immune system works behind the scenes, quietly, constantly, protecting you from countless challenges you never even notice. And to do its job effectively, it needs nutrients. Protein is one of the key building blocks used throughout the body, including in processes related to immune function. Without adequate protein intake, the body may struggle to maintain many of its normal repair and maintenance functions.
This is one reason nutrition experts often encourage adults, especially older adults, to pay close attention to their protein intake. Buffalo wings can contribute to those daily protein needs, but here's an important point.
Health is never about a single food. It's about the overall pattern. The healthiest meals combine protein with colorful vegetables, fiber-rich foods, and a variety of nutrients. Think of nutrition like building a strong team. Each nutrient has a role. Protein supports structure. Vegetables provide vitamins and antioxidants. Healthy fats help support cellular function. When these pieces work together, the body performs at its best. And that brings us to a topic that affects millions of Americans every single day: weight management. Here's a surprising question. What if one of the biggest challenges in weight management isn't hunger, but feeling unsatisfied?
Many people spend years trying restrictive diets, eliminating favorite foods, counting every calorie, and constantly fighting cravings. Yet research repeatedly shows that satisfaction matters. Meals that leave you feeling full and content may be easier to maintain over time. Protein is known for promoting satiety. In simple terms, it helps many people feel fuller compared to some highly processed foods. That's one reason protein-rich meals often play a role in successful long-term eating plans. When buffalo wings are prepared thoughtfully, especially baked or grilled rather than heavily fried, and paired with vegetables, they can be surprisingly satisfying.
And satisfaction can help reduce unnecessary snacking later in the day. Of course, portion size still matters, preparation method still matters, overall dietary habits still matter. But the idea that all flavorful foods must be avoided for healthy weight management, that's a myth worth questioning, because sustainable health is often built through balance rather than deprivation. And speaking of balance, let's talk about blood sugar, because what you're about to hear surprises many people.
When people think about foods that affect blood sugar, they usually focus on sugar itself, but the conversation is much bigger than that. Protein-rich foods generally have a different effect on blood sugar than highly refined carbohydrates. Because buffalo wings are primarily a protein and fat source, they do not contain large amounts of carbohydrates on their own. That means they typically do not create the same rapid blood sugar response associated with certain processed foods. Now, this doesn't mean unlimited wings are automatically healthy, and it certainly doesn't mean people should ignore medical advice.
But understanding how different foods affect the body helps people make more informed choices. One simple strategy? Pair wings with vegetables instead of highly processed side dishes. That small change can dramatically improve the overall nutritional quality of the meal. And while we're discussing health, we need to address one of the most controversial topics surrounding buffalo wings: heart health. Because the truth is far more nuanced than many people expect. For years, many people viewed foods like buffalo wings through a very simple lens: good or bad, healthy or unhealthy. But modern nutrition science increasingly recognizes that health is more complicated than that.
Your heart health depends on many factors: physical activity, sleep, stress levels, smoking status, overall dietary pattern, body composition, and yes, the foods you eat consistently over time. Buffalo wings can provide protein and important nutrients, but preparation matters enormously. A grilled wing served with vegetables is very different from a heavily processed meal loaded with excess calories and sodium. Context matters. Portion matters. Lifestyle matters. The healthiest approach isn't fear, it's awareness. Understanding how foods fit into the bigger picture. And when people understand that bigger picture, they often make smarter choices naturally.
Now, let's talk about something many adults struggle with after age 40: energy during the day and sleep at night. Because these two are more connected than you think. Most people know sleep is important, But few realize how deeply nutrition influences recovery. Throughout the night, your body repairs tissues, supports muscle recovery, maintains countless biological processes. Protein provides amino acids that participate in many of these functions. And while no food can magically improve sleep overnight, balanced evening meals may help support overall recovery and wellness. The key word is balanced. Not excessive, not restrictive, balanced. And that's a theme you'll notice throughout this entire story. Because the healthiest lifestyles are rarely extreme. They're sustainable, they're realistic, they're enjoyable. But here's where things get really interesting. Because despite all these potential benefits, millions of Americans accidentally turn buffalo wings into a much less healthy meal without realizing it. Coming up next, we'll uncover the biggest myths surrounding buffalo wings, the preparation mistakes that can undermine their nutritional value, the healthiest ways to enjoy them, and the simple tricks nutrition-conscious people use to get the best of both worlds, flavor and health. And trust me, some of those mistakes may be sitting on your plate right now. Let's clear up some of the biggest misconceptions surrounding buffalo wings, because when it comes to nutrition, half-truths can be just as misleading as myths. Myth number 1. Buffalo wings have no nutritional value. This is simply not true. Buffalo wings contain protein, minerals, connective tissue compounds, and other nutrients. The real question isn't whether they contain nutrients. The real question is how they're prepared and how often they're consumed. Myth number 2. Healthy people never eat buffalo wings. Look at many successful long-term wellness plans. They don't eliminate every enjoyable food. They focus on consistency. People who maintain healthy lifestyles for decades often follow balanced habits rather than rigid perfection. Myth number 3. Only chicken breast is healthy. Chicken breast is certainly nutritious, but other parts of the chicken contain different nutrient profiles. Wings contain connective tissues and skin that provide compounds not found in the same amounts in lean breast meat. Different cuts offer different nutritional advantages. Myth number 4. Flavor automatically means unhealthy. One of the biggest mistakes in nutrition is assuming healthy food must be bland. Flavor can help make healthy eating sustainable. The goal isn't to remove enjoyment from food. The goal is to make smart choices consistently. Myth number 5. All buffalo wings are the same. This may be the biggest myth of all. A grilled buffalo wing and a heavily processed deep-fried wing coated in sugary sauces are completely different nutritional experiences. Preparation changes everything. And that's exactly what we're about to explore next. Because one simple cooking decision can dramatically change the health profile of your meal.
What if the problem isn't the buffalo wing, but everything surrounding it? This is where many people get into trouble. Mistake number 1. Oversized portions. Many restaurant servings contain far more food than most people realize. When portion sizes double, calories often double too. Mistake number 2. Sugary sauces. Some sauces contain surprisingly high amounts of added sugar. A sauce that tastes slightly sweet may be contributing more sugar than expected. Mistake number 3. Ignoring vegetables. Many people skip the celery, carrots, and fresh vegetables that traditionally accompany wings. Yet these foods add fiber, vitamins, and balance to the meal. Mistake number 4. Eating too quickly. Fast eating often reduces awareness of fullness signals. Slowing down can make a remarkable difference. Mistake number 5. Treating one meal as if it defines overall health. Your health is not determined by one dinner. It's shaped by patterns repeated over weeks, months, and years. And once people understand that, nutrition becomes far less stressful. But if you truly want to maximize the nutritional value of buffalo wings, there's one preparation method that stands above the rest. Imagine enjoying the flavor you love,
while reducing some of the downsides associated with traditional preparation methods.
That's exactly why many health-conscious cooks prefer baking, grilling, or air frying. These methods can create crispy texture while using less added oil. Another simple upgrade? Focus on ingredient quality. Use simple seasonings. Avoid excessive sugar. Choose sauces with recognizable ingredients. And remember, the healthiest meal isn't necessarily the most complicated. Often, it's the simplest. Protein, vegetables, balanced portions, consistent habits. Simple wins repeated over time. But preparation is only part of the story. Because what you eat alongside buffalo wings can make a huge difference. Want to instantly improve the nutritional quality of your buffalo wing meal?
Pair it strategically. Excellent companions include fresh vegetables, large salads, carrots, celery, bell peppers, cucumber, roasted vegetables. These foods add fiber, volume, vitamins, and satisfaction. They help create balance, and balance is where long-term success lives, not in extremes, not in fear, but in thoughtful choices. And speaking of thoughtful choices, there may actually be a better time of day to enjoy wings than most people realize.
Is there a perfect time to eat buffalo wings? Not necessarily, but context matters. Many people find protein-rich meals particularly satisfying during lunch or dinner. Meals consumed around periods of activity may fit well into an active lifestyle. The most important factor isn't the exact clock time. It's how the meal fits into your overall day, your activity level, your goals, your overall eating pattern. And now, we're entering perhaps the most inspiring part of this entire story. Because nutritional science is important. But sometimes, the most powerful lessons come from real people, real experiences, real transformations. Coming up next.
You'll hear several realistic stories of individuals who changed small habits, made smarter food choices, and discovered that health doesn't require perfection, only progress. And one of those stories may remind you of someone you know, or even yourself. Before we dive into these stories, let's pause for a moment, because health isn't built in a laboratory. It's built in real life. It's built at dinner tables, in grocery stores, in family kitchens, and in the small decisions people make every day. Most people don't transform their health through one dramatic action. They transform it through hundreds of small choices repeated consistently over time.
That's why the stories you're about to hear aren't about miracle foods. They're about perspective, balance, and learning how enjoyable foods can fit into a healthy lifestyle. Because sometimes the biggest transformation begins when people stop chasing perfection and start building sustainable habits. Meet Michael, at least let's call him Michael. In his early 50s, life felt busy. Work, family responsibilities, deadlines, stress. His meals often came from drive-through windows, quick snacks, processed convenience foods. Like many Americans, he assumed healthy eating meant giving up everything he enjoyed, and that assumption kept him stuck. Then something changed.
Instead of trying another extreme diet, he focused on balance. More vegetables, more home cooking, more protein-rich meals, more walking, more sleep. And occasionally, buffalo wings, but prepared differently. Baked, portion-controlled, served with vegetables. The surprising result wasn't that wings changed his life. It was that he no longer felt deprived. For the first time, healthy eating felt sustainable. And sustainability is often where lasting success begins. Because the healthiest lifestyle is the one you can actually maintain.
Now let's talk about Linda. After retirement, she wanted something simple, not a complicated nutrition plan, Not dozens of supplements, just practical habits. She began focusing on whole foods, cooking more often, staying active, and paying attention to protein intake. One thing she discovered surprised her. Many of the foods she enjoyed didn't need to disappear. They simply needed context, balance, reasonable portions, a healthier preparation style. That realization removed years of unnecessary guilt around food. And once that guilt disappeared, consistency became easier, health became simpler, and life became more enjoyable.
There's a lesson hidden in Linda's story, one that many people overlook. The goal isn't to fear food. The goal is to understand it. Have you ever noticed something interesting about people who age exceptionally well? Many of them don't obsess over individual foods. Instead, they focus on patterns, community, movement, purpose, sleep, and balanced nutrition. Researchers studying longevity often find similar themes across different cultures: whole foods, shared meals, physical activity, and sustainable habits. Not perfection, consistency. That's an important distinction, because many people spend years searching for one magical ingredient, one miracle supplement.
One secret food. But healthy aging usually comes from a collection of smart choices working together. And that's exactly why foods like buffalo wings can fit into a healthy lifestyle. Not because they're magical, but because healthy living doesn't require eliminating every enjoyable meal. It requires making informed choices more often than not. And when people understand that, everything changes. Here's one of the most surprising findings from wellness experts. Sometimes the healthiest meal isn't just about nutrients, it's about connection. Meals bring people together. Families, friends, communities, conversations, memories, moments. And those moments matter.
Because health isn't only physical, it's emotional too. Think about your favorite meals. You probably don't remember every calorie. You remember who was there, what you talked about, how you felt, the laughter, the stories, the connection. And that may be one of the most overlooked aspects of wellness in modern life.
So let me ask you something. What if health isn't about becoming perfect? What if it's about becoming a little better each year? A little stronger, a little wiser, a little more intentional? What if the real secret isn't restriction, but balance? Because if that's true, then perhaps the most valuable lesson from buffalo wings isn't nutritional at all. Perhaps it's a reminder that healthy living and enjoying life don't have to be opposites. And in our final chapter, we'll bring everything together. You'll discover the practical takeaways, the biggest lessons, the smartest strategies, and the powerful message that every viewer should remember long after this video ends.
Because the final 5 minutes may be the most important of all. We've covered a lot of ground today. And by now, one thing should be clear. Buffalo wings are not a miracle food. But they're not the villain many people assume they are either. What matters most is understanding the bigger picture. When thoughtfully prepared and enjoyed lie a part of a balanced lifestyle, buffalo wings can contribute valuable protein and nutrients while still delivering the flavor people love. Throughout this journey, we've explored how they may support muscle maintenance, healthy aging, joint support, satiety, energy, recovery, and overall dietary satisfaction.
But perhaps the most important lesson isn't about buffalo wings at all. It's about how we think about food. Too often, nutrition conversations become trapped in extremes: good versus bad, healthy versus unhealthy, allowed versus forbidden. Yet real life doesn't work that way, and lasting health rarely comes from extreme thinking. It comes from consistent, informed choices repeated over time. That is where transformation happens, not in a week,
not in a month, but across years of small decisions. Let's make this practical. Here are 10 simple ways to enjoy buffalo wings while supporting your long-term health goals. Tip number 1. Choose baked, grilled, or air-fried wings whenever possible. This simple switch can significantly reduce unnecessary added fats. Tip number 2. Prioritize quality over quantity. Enjoy your food. Savor it. You don't need excessive portions to feel satisfied. Tip number 3. Pair wings with vegetables. Celery, carrots, bell peppers, salads. These additions create balance and improve the nutritional profile of the meal. Tip number 4. Be mindful of sauces. Some sauces contain surprising amounts of sugar and sodium.
Reading labels can make a big difference. Tip number 5. Eat slowly. Your body needs time to recognize fullness. Rushing often leads to overeating. Tip number 6. Stay physically active. Nutrition works best when combined with movement. Walking, cycling, strength training, anything you enjoy consistently. Tip number 7. Focus on your overall weekly habits. One meal rarely determines your health. Patterns matter far more. Tip number 8. Get enough sleep. Many people underestimate how strongly sleep affects appetite, recovery, and wellness. Tip number 9. Cook at home more often. Home preparation gives you greater control over ingredients and portions.
Tip number 10. Stop chasing perfection. Aim for progress. The healthiest people are not perfect. They're consistent. And consistency beats perfection almost every time. There is a lesson many people don't fully understand until later in life. Health is not something you appreciate only when it's gone. It's something you invest in while you still have it. Every walk, every healthy meal, every good night's sleep, every positive habit. They may seem small today, but over years, those small actions compound into something extraordinary. The ability to keep moving, to keep exploring, to keep enjoying life with the people you love. And that's what longevity is really about.
Not merely adding years to life, but adding life to years. Because what's the value of living longer if you can't enjoy the journey? That question may be one of the most important health questions anyone can ask.
Alayhi salam, we reach the end of this story. Take a moment to think about your future self. The version of you 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now. What kind of life do you want that person to experience? More energy? More strength? More adventures? More time with family? More freedom? Those outcomes are rarely created by one dramatic decision. They're built by thousands of small choices made day after day, meal after meal, year after year. And perhaps that's the greatest lesson hidden inside something alayhi salam simple. Alayhi salam buffalo wings. Health doesn't require perfection. It requires awareness, balance, consistency,
And the willingness to make slightly better choices whenever possible. Because every positive step matters, and every healthy habit is an investment in a future version of yourself that will one day thank you. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the surprising truth about buffalo wings, let us know in the comments. How do you prefer your wings? Classic, grilled, baked, or air-fried? And what's one health habit you're working on right now? If you found value in this video, please hit the like button and subscribe for more fascinating nutrition, wellness, healthy aging, and longevity content. And remember, the path to better health isn't built in a single day. It's built one choice at a time. Thank you for watching. Stay healthy. Stay curious. And we'll see you in the next video.